Hello and welcome everyone to the final round of Race Department's Formula FG Championship Season number 5. We're here in Sao Paulo, Brazil for the traditional final round of the season. Looking forward to seeing how some of these teams are going to be able to finish off. For some of them, not such a great season. For others, quite a successful one. And as you can see right here, the weather is sure to make it an interesting one as well. It's going to be, of course, 100% race distance, so we are going to be seeing quite a lot of rain, that is for sure. Looking at qualifying, and well, the rain hit there as well. Jack Lasky was on pole position from Manolis Sigalakis. Quite a, not an amazing time by any standards, but the conditions just really fell away from there. So the first runners came out, got their laps done, and that's basically how it stayed. So yes, Lasky, Sigalakis, Stefan Berner in third, James McNamara, champion and record-breaking driver this season by all means, in fourth place. Look for him to be moving up. Jordan Bradford, Carlos Rodriguez, Tapia Rinho, the two Falcons, I think a good chance again to the podium as well. Damien's son, Nathan Corns, Luke Rosella. They are the top 10. Further behind, Engbrink got to 11th, which is weird for a Keranen Motorsport car. Ben Utzer in 13th. See if he's going to be able to finish off the season well, or maybe not. Daniel Harvey, Rui Martins, Hugo Rossello all got caught out by the rain in the second group, and they are a long way down the order as a result. So absolutely nothing in terms of championships to play for this race. It's more just about pride. James McNamara going for 300 points. He's already broken pretty much every other record that there is. So we'll see if he's going to be able to do that or not here. Looking forward to it then, the Brazilian Grand Prix. Here on the grid then in Brazil. Lights starting to come online. 3, 4, 5 lights now. And we're underway in wet conditions here in Sao Paulo. Looks like that's a pretty good start by both the front row. They move down towards the first corner. Yeah, indeed, it's Sigalakis. Maybe making a slightly better run for it. He has the inside. Will he be able to hold it into the second corner? Yes, he will. So Sigalakis there, going to jump into the lead of the race. And he sprints off. As Lasky will give chase. Stefan Berner is the next one in line. Jordan Bradford has made a great start there, as well as McNamara. Just behind. Oh, this is getting dicey. 3 wide through there. And in the end, it's Berner getting through. McNamara having to yield. Rodriguez, Rinho, Sun, Corns, Rosella back through the field, and doesn't seem like there's too much change down towards the back. Sigalakis, what a good start by him. Especially considering he's on a slightly longer first stint. Especially compared to that of Lasky, so we'll see how that's going to be working over the course of the day. We see very similar strategies employed by Berner and Bradford to Lasky, whereas McNamara is closer to Sigalakis, as is Rodriguez and Rinho, so a little bit of strategy play going on there. Joseph Wright there actually going to be making a little move up the hill, and it leaves Omar Saeed really out on the high side. Going to be struggling to get too much done out there. Indeed, they're streaming through on him as Danny Totos. Look at that. Making the move there. He's gotten past 2 already. Is he maybe going to look for the third? Oh, somebody's off one of the Fantastics. Oh, and Ben Utzer as well. You couldn't script it. Ben Utzer, oh, he's just come back across the line. So Allington and Utzer get tangled up on each other. Joseph Wright getting a little bit tangled up there on Danny Totos as well. It's a long race, but that's not going to help Utzer's cause at all, and That season's just going worse and worse for him as we have another yellow flag. As Jordan Bradford. Now, what's happened here? He's ahead of Stefan Berner. Or is Berner maybe gonna... Oh, no. Oh, he's just gotten it wrong there. Jordan Bradford, and around he goes. So he's stuck there, and that's important in terms of the championship. He's 15 points ahead of his teammate in the race for third overall. So Rinyaho at this point in time only needs to be looking at getting, well, third place. He will get the count back. He's currently in fifth at the moment. Engbrink there up to eighth. He's possibly a good chance at a podium here, Engbrink, today, if the car will last the distance. He's starting a long way up already. Bradford is out of the running, so that's one of the Falcons, one of the stronger cars, out of the way. Let's look at Sigalakis go at the moment, though. It would be a really strong way for him to finish the season, pick up a victory. Hugo Rossello picked up the other victory earlier in the season for Apex, for ART. It is, of course, very early to be talking about the end of the race, but that will be what they're looking for. There's yet another yellow flag. Nathan Corns there. Okay, so just pulling off to the side. Transmission problem there for him. Out on the spot. First retirement of the day. You can see the movers, Engbrink and Martins, in fact. Martins actually going great guns there. Up into 9th place, up 6 positions. Engbrink up 4. Quite an unfortunate ending there for Corns, Season 3 champion. Not going to be at Raven Western next season. Will be at Tim Engbrink's new team. And that's been confirmed. We believe it'll be Jaws, but we'll wait to see when it's unveiled. That is for sure. And Stefan Berner here. Just trying to keep McNamara behind at the moment. On to effectively the straight now. Winding up from the last corner. McNamara through the spray, going to look for the move. Jack Lasky fast lap of the race so far, but McNamara actually beats it straight away. And McNamara down the inside. Good move there from current champion of the season. So now Berner back to 4th and might have Rinyaho looking pretty quickly. Indeed, he will be. Jordan Bradford there, fast lap of the race. And Rinyaho, we just can't quite get it done at the moment. Maybe he'll have a second go at it through the next corner. Nope, not going to be able to. Bad luck there for him as Engbrink, in fact, did get past Rodriguez. So Tim Engbrink flying at the moment. Damien Sunnes, Ree Martins, Hugo Rossello. He's also done quite well to get up to 10th at the moment. Had a bit of luck, couple of people in the top 10 retiring and slipping off. Rob Sharp there in 13th. Daniel Harvey, Danny Totos, Saeed, Guardian Davizioso going so heavy. He's going to be one stopping, which is incredible. I think some people must be looking at 2 stopping, maybe even 3 stopping. I don't even know, but Andrea Davizioso and Crifelli just deciding, you know what, nah, not going to try today with 1 pit stop. Oh, Jack Lasky there. He has gotten through. See if... must have happened just before that. So there you go. Jack Lasky now into the lead of the race. Oop, just sliding through there a little bit. As Rinniho does get past Stefan Berner. They're down into turn 1. Lasky's going to be wanting to make as much distance between him and McNamara as possible. Not only that, but also Rinniho and possibly even Engbrink. Oh, Martin's struggling a bit through that corner, but he's gone past Damien Sun. New helmet this weekend for Daniel Harvey. A change from what we've seen him have previously, which was a mainly blue helmet. And I think that came from his days at ART, back when those cars were blue. That really is going back quite a while. Jordan Bradford slowly getting onto the back of this pack. Coming back through the field, Stefan Berner now going to be under a little bit of pressure from Engbrink, possibly. See if the Keranen Motorsport car has enough to catch him up. Yeah, looks like it will. Engbrink now up over the hill. Has he got far up enough down the inside? Yes, so far. And yes, it will be. So Engbrink through there into 5th. They'll be chasing down Rinniho and then chasing down McNamara, who is on a bit of a move at the moment. Jordan Bradford, another fastest lap. Yazutsa now up into 18th. Allington. Now Allington actually got out of the. Got back on the track, I guess you'd say, is a better way of putting it, before Ben Utsa, so Utsa has been able to catch up to him and overtake him cleanly this time. Not trip over him. Rodriguez here. Fantastic season it has been for Carlos. His team has been not front running, but just going about their business quietly, and they've done quite well. He's had a really good season in the driver's seat, as well as having to manage. Oh, Luke Rosella and Danny Toto's here. Danny Toto's going around the outside. That's a move you don't see too often. How's he going to get it done? He is going to get it done. Big move there from the Hungarian. Absolutely. Challenger had some speed earlier in the season. 54 points. At the moment, they will be in 9th, no matter what. Well, I mean, I say that mathematically, they can get quite a bit further up. And they can be overtaken to go even further down, but it's just very unlikely. With some of the new teams, 54 points, you know, they would have taken it. Some of the other teams, they struggle to get very much more than that, so absolutely the case. Didn't have a big budget to work with, Challenger, and they've had quite a successful season. Optima as well, though Optima are struggling a little bit at the moment. His final race, in terms of some of the constructors' positions, can get a little bit dicey. Falcon will need a 1-2, which looks a little bit unlikely if they want to catch DTK, who are 40 points ahead of them, so that's probably not going to happen. Raven West won't be able to get any higher than 5th. Now BRT are just 11 points behind Raven West at the moment. I believe Stefan Berner is currently in 10th. So they just need a few extra points. Bit of luck to go their way. No, sorry, Seven Burners in 6th, sorry. I think I've mucked that up entirely now that I think of it, but no. Seven Burner is in 6th. Ben Utsa needs to get into the points a little bit more if they really want to challenge Raven West, but at the same time, Karen and Motorsport, 10 points behind BRT. Looking to jump the German team. They've already gone past Optima by a solitary point. Currently the top 6 teams have all won at least one race this season. Karen and Motorsport in 7th place, the only team to have not done that so far. Well, the first team to have not done that so far, I should say. Optima, Challenger, Fantastic, and Profeli all along the same lines. Down the straight here, McNamara going to look for the move. Won't see it unfolding, but suspect it's probably on the way. Indeed, there we go. So Sigalakis down to 3rd, McNamara up to 2nd. Sigalakis defensive line there as well. Here comes Ben Utsa now. Down the straight, going to make the move on Chris Guardian. And he gets it done. So Utsa actually cutting his way through the field quite nicely. He's bringing Jordan Bradford with him as well. Bruniho for 3rd place in the championship. Just needs one more position. And he is right on the back of Manolis Sigalakis to be able to take that. Here we go. Off the inside of the Greek driver. He's already ahead according to the telemetry. And in fact, yeah, oh, that's a risky move there. Wasn't sure if he was going to stop it in time. He will. We'll see now if Sigalakis maybe going to look to make the move back down the straight. In fact, we won't just yet. Jordan Bradford here, making his way past Chris Guardian. And that'll be a fairly straightforward overtake there, up the inside. Yep, here's Utsa. Struggling to get that through. He's gotten past Luke Rosella there, however, so he's continuing his upward trend at the moment. Next in line, Daniel Harvey. That DTK just seems stuck where it is at the moment. Oop, Joseph Wright going around there. Oh, back onto the track. Dangerous position. Rob Sharp can't find a way past. So a mistake there from Joseph Wright. Raven West just going to be stuck a little bit. It gets going once again. Now the two Optimas might be battling each other. Further back, Sigalakis under pressure there from Engbrink, rather. With this McNamara, it's closed right in on Lasky. Becoming quite an intriguing top four now, as Lasky hasn't got a massive turn of pace, as Engbrink did go past Sigalakis, as we can see. There he is in the background. How long can Lasky hold out? How far up can Rinyaho get? How close can Engbrink get? Those are the questions. So Sigalakis now back into 5th place. A little bit extra on that battle between BRT and Raven West, and BRT will need 12 points more than Raven West. That is assuming, unless there's, you know, BRT start winning and Raven West are also finishing high up on the table, then there's going to be further tie breaks. But assuming that's not going to be the case, BRT would lose the head-to-head, 2 wins to 1. Raven West would win that tie break, so BRT will need 12 points more. Karen and Motorsport will need 11 points more than BRT. Optima will need, what's that, 13 points more than BRT if they want to overtake them. Not sure on the tiebreak between Optima and Karen and Motorsport. Karen and Motorsport at the same time, 22 points more than Raven West, could actually get them into 5th. So at least 12 points more than BRT, 22 points more than Raven West. Could sneak that position, especially, oh, hang on, McNamara here, having a look down the inside. It's a late dive. He's got the inside. He's looking to take it, but Lasky might fight back. Oh, it's a close one. He's not going to find it, though, Lasky. So McNamara is through, and Rinyaho now right onto the back of the DTK driver as well. Move for the lead, and that could be important right there. Rinyaho not close enough, it seems. Meanwhile, here is Daniel Harvey having a real struggle today to be able to get anything going. This is Jordan Bradford now going to go past him. Very surprising to see Lasky just so far ahead of Daniel Harvey. I haven't seen that too many times this season, so not sure what's up with Daniel Harvey's car. Top 3 still running quite close. McNamara just holding it at the moment. See if Lasky can fight back. Oh, Danny Totos, off he goes. Sliding through that corner. How's he going to get back on? The answer is, oh, he's going to stop. He's going to wait. Benutza to go through. Bradford. Harvey. Quite a few of them, in fact. Engbrink fastest lap of the race, meanwhile. Here he is in 4th place. Bit of conjecture from last round as to who got fastest lap and who didn't quite get fastest lap. Something that seems like it will be sorted out more in the off-season. Now, as these cars are battling a little bit by little bit, seems the track might be just drying up a little. As even Bradford was setting fastest laps further down the field. So expect to see the lap time starting to tumble a little bit. This will be that section of the race where the rain just sort of backs off a little bit, I feel. So at the moment, Lasky doing an incredible job keeping Rinyaho behind him. Oh, Rinyaho getting really close to the back of the DTK there. Oh, and he backs off. Maybe a little bit of brake test there. Oh, Engbrink right onto the back of him now. Makes up a lot of time through that sector. Wonder if we'll see a move possibly by the Dutchman. Doesn't seem like it at the moment, but McNamara has just bolted. Nearly 2-second lead to Lasky. As Rinyaho having to get defensive on Engbrink. Here's Rui Martins at the moment in 8th place. Carlos Rodriguez, the next car in line for him. Bradford, another fastest lap. Here is Bradford right now, and he's gone onto the back of Benutza. So he's been chasing the BRT, following the BRT for a lot of the race. And at the moment, he has gotten through, that would indicate to me. Back to the battle for second. Noel Sigalakis isn't too far away. He's still in quite close range of these guys ahead of him. Pit stops will be starting soon as well, which could shake up this order a little bit. Oop, Damien Sun. Going a bit wide there, coming back on. Oh, Hugo Rossello. Good reflexes there. Pretty sure we've seen more than a few people not be able to react to that quite in time. So, really good job by Rossello. Damien Sun, he's also going incredibly heavy this round, this race. It's good work by him to be keeping himself so high up in the standings. McNamara, fastest lap of the race. I think I saw that as a 1:24. Indeed, so he's really going quickly at the moment. And there we go, the pit stops will be starting soon, as evidenced by the fact that Harvey is not being called into the pits. Will in fact be his teammate. So McNamara still got a couple of laps to go. Lasky in this lap. He's the only one, in fact. Stefan Berner is an extra lap away. So Lasky will peel off. But before then, see if maybe Rinho is going to make a move for the lead.
At the end of this lap.
Here's confirmation on the radio. Ooh, nearly coming together there, the two cars. That's going to slow them down a little bit. Another yellow flag is out. Oh, Carlos Rodriguez. Goes a little bit too hard through the corner and rips off the wheel. Very unfortunate end to his race, to his season, in fact. Could be a while before we see Carlos in the driver's seat once more, that is for sure. So then the second retirement of the race will be Carlos Rodriguez. As Sigalakis here is caught right up to the back of Tim Engbrink. Oh, okay, that explains a lot more. So Lasky pulling off to the side. Rinho, oh, close one. It was always going to be the problem for the pit lane. Engbrink sensing an opportunity maybe to try to get past Rinho, and in the end just ends up whacking Jack Lasky. He's gotten himself into the pit lane. I wonder if there's any damage on either car as a result, but it's not what Lasky needs. That's more or less probably taken him out of the race entirely. So much time lost. Even Luke Rosella incredibly heavy in this race. I'm not sure if he's pitted. There you go. So McNamara now controlled this race by quite a distance, 6.5 seconds to Tapio Rinho. Engbrink a further 1.8 behind with Sigalakis in tow. Stefan Berner as well there for BRT. Then comes Rui Martins, just quietly going about his business here, up into 6th place, having started way down in the order in 15th. Hugo Rossello similar, down in 16th up to 7th. Joseph Wright started in 20th up to 8th for Raven West at the moment. Damien Sun there. Omar Saeed into the points. Here's Jordan Bradford. He'll be coming in this lap. We'll see if we have any problems once again. No, we won't this time. There's Harvey, Danny Totos, Rosella. Dovizioso there is Lasky, currently in the last place. Ben Utsa, meanwhile, up into 10th. Promoted by Bradford going in. look away for one moment, and Andrea Dovizioso looks like that's probably a suspension problem for him. So sorry end to the season there for Dovizioso, for Profelli. Showed some real speed earlier in the season. Just couldn't do anything about it. Now, in fact, McNamara probably needs to be a little bit careful here. Indeed, there we go. I think that Profelli is slowly drifting out on towards the track. So a lot of the top 4 runners having to just back off a little bit there. Martins did not, so expect to see him catch up quite a bit. Top 3 staying quite stable at the moment. Expect to see Engbrink in probably next lap. Benutza has pitted. He'll be coming out. There's Bradford. Lasky. You can just see how much time Lasky lost. Bradford and Utsa were somewhere in the midfield, somewhere around like 14th or so. And Lasky's right in front of them. Didn't think I'd say this, but Daniel Harvey. Look at it. Look, even he might be going for the one-stop strategy. He's the lead DTK at the moment, and I think he may end as the lead DTK. So Stefan Berner has popped back out. He's in 12th now. Joseph Wright, look at him go at the moment. This is the sort of speed we saw of him earlier in the season when he picked up 2 victories. He's cutting through the field. He does enjoy the rain. Of course, picking up that maiden win. Wet conditions in Austria. And right when Raven West needed him to stand up, needed him to step up, he has been able to do so, and especially considering his run of recent results are not particularly strong. Since getting 5th in Belgium, he's been outside the points every race. 4 races. And then if you go to the races before that, the 4 races preceding, again, no points until he got a 5th in Spain. And that was just after he won his 2nd race in Canada. So it's been really tough there for Joseph Wright. Since his 2nd win in Canada, he's only scored 20 points. And what's that, like 10 races? Tapio Rinio, fast lap of the race there. It's Engbrink into the pits. Rinio will be in at the end of this lap, same as McNamara. We'll see where is Engbrink going to be popping out. He had a bit of time over Stefan Berner, so that looks like that'll continue. Or will it? In fact, he's going to come back out. It looks like the earlier pit stops are working pretty well for some of the drivers. Jordan Bradford, fastest lap so far. Indeed, just look at how close Stefan Berner is compared to Engbrink, though. There's a slight difference in how much they've taken on board in terms of fuel. Chris Guardian out of the pits there. Here comes McNamara then. Into the pits, Rinho will follow. Sigalakis will not. He's got an extra couple of laps to go, same as Rui Martins. So McNamara is in there. In comes Rinho. Now I'm mainly watching to see Rinjaho and Engbrink. See if that one lap difference for Engbrink is enough. So Rinjaho coming down the lane here. Into 9th, Engbrink a bit further behind, and Rinjaho did take quite a lot of fuel on board as well. Rinjaho getting out quite safely in the end in front of Engbrink. So it might have been a slow stop there by Karen Motorsport. And as McNamara has got himself onto the back of a group that not all of them necessarily have to pit straight away. I mean, Wright will, so will Rossello, so it's just Saeed that won't be. There's actually a set of intermediate tyres there for McNamara as well. Engbrink deciding not to go for those. So we'll see if tyre choice actually makes any difference now. So the wet's on quite a few cars at the moment, but those that have pitted, McNamara being one of them. Actually, Rinjaho's still sticking with the wets as well, so it's only McNamara that is rolling the dice on the intermediates at the moment. Actually, no, Jack Lasky there has also taken them, so we'll see if there's any change with that. Joseph Wright going to come back out. Rossello at the same time, basically. And they are both on exactly the same strategy as well. Here's Jordan Bradford. Oh, battling there with Luke Rosella. Profelli looking for just a point. 2 points, even. It would be 2 points that they really need. And there's Joseph Wright, pops back out ahead of Lasky and Utsa. Rossello just behind them. That is sure to be a fun little battle pack. Sigalakis now into the pits. Martins will follow, as will Saeed. Damian Sun here is going to... I don't know, is he going to be in... Yeah, he's going to be in second place now. If it wasn't for that little spin that he had, he would be in the lead. A little off-track moment. As Stefan Berner there has actually gone past Tim Engbrink, so BRT not holding back any of the punches. He is going for it at the moment. He's ahead of Engbrink and ahead of Sigalakis once more. Intermediates for Sigalakis. So clearly not too much rain on the horizon. Must be the scenario. Jordan Bradford there right on the back of Rui Martins. Joseph Wright battling there with Lasky. Just look at these four go at the moment. Four very proud, very old teams even of the series. When you look at it. All four of these teams in one way or another were there in Season 1. Raven West, back then, run as a different team. That was Speedy Racing, and they're currently in the colours of the old Speedy Racing. DTK, of course, won in Season 1. BRT was second, and ART were also there. The Apex Racing team. And there's Damien's son, actually. He's had to pit now. Why is that? This must be... That must be a call for tyres. And they've filled him right up once again. I think they filled him to the end of the race, but I think the rain is going to come back down again, so... Not too sure about that one. That has just sort of scrambled the lead then a little bit. Because Engbrink has actually gone back past Stefan Berner. Sigalak is still going to give chase. At the moment, McNamara won't be minding on his tyres. Rinjaho and Engbrink on the other hand. Actually, Berner as well. It's only Sigalakis, along with McNamara in the top 5, that are on those intermediates. I think the next one is then Lasky in 10th. Rosello there as well, but struggling to get through at the moment, so not too much to talk about. Not even sure why in the end Damien's son has come in. Well, they know more than we do. Here we go, the rain actually coming down once again here in Sao Paulo. Drivers coming back in there. So Stefan Berner had come in. Oops. You're actually doing a fast lap, so that may well be the fastest lap of the race if the conditions start to deteriorate. That looks like a full wet to me. Might be wrong. Lasky's actually had an electrical problem there. So that explains that. So yeah, those are the intermediates. So another set of intermediates there for Lasky. Benutzer, I'm not entirely sure what he was pitting for. So a weird moment there for BRT. Field really a little bit all over the place at the moment. It's really hard to tell who's in what position strategy-wise, things like that. The teams, I'm not even sure if the teams know exactly what they're doing. Engbrink there, fast lap the race down to the 120s. Rain is coming down here. The track's still just drying a little bit. Majority of the cars still running wet tyres, so they'd be getting rid of a lot of water, and I don't think there's quite enough coming down at the moment. And there's Bradford there is pitted as well. It's a little bit just all over the place at the moment. Get an idea in a moment how some of these drivers are faring, and McNamara going great guns at the moment. Brynjo just a bit down on that. Engbrink, definitely the fastest of the top three at the moment. Only slightly. Fast lap there, McNamara, 120.7. Brynjo with the 120.8. And Engbrink, last one across with a 120.6. Siglakis 121.4, I think I saw that. 20.8 as well there for Martins. He's on a roll at the moment. Joseph Wright there in 7th. Rob Sharp there going quite well in 9th. There's Stefan Berner back into the top 10. Danny's Hotos chasing him down. Damien's son, Chris Guardian. Damien's son, just astounds me they put so much fuel in. I didn't even know they had a fuel tank large enough. big fastest lap there for Engbrink, taking another 4/10 off his previous best. Luke Rosella actually coming out of the pits there. This could get frustrating for Engbrink. Rosella needs to just back off out of the way, which he does eventually. So not sure why he's pitted either. Yeah, even McNamara. Oh, Ben Utsa, fastest lap of the race. There you go. He's across will come McNamara now. Actually can't beat Utsa, but he's into the 119s. Rinho actually isn't. Oh, he just beats his best, and Engbrink as well. Long way off there. Might have been due to Rosella. It's hard to say. Riscardi in there having overtaken by 2, including one of them being his teammate. And he's going to be coming in at this lap. This is very intriguing race so far. There's a lot of pit stops which just don't seem to make sense. Especially considering that they're not... They don't seem to be changing tyres. Indeed, wets for wets. Another fastest lap there for McNamara. Oots is in again as well. I just don't quite get it. As I think all the blue flags there for Luke Rosella, it's just stalled him out. Danny Totos at the moment there, fast lap of the race for him. Saeed deep inside the top 10 at the moment. Same with Rob Sharp, and that continues the way it is. That's a strong effort. As Stefan Berners in once again. This is Jordan Bradford. I don't know if they think it's like the Le Mans 24 hours and they just have to do plenty of pits and things like that. Is there driver changes going on? I just don't know, man. I do know is that BRT have really just thrown away a strong effort here today. I just don't get it. So then wait to see how this rain really affects the race. We do still have cars on intermediates. Lasky there, fastest lap. Meanwhile, we have, as I mentioned, cars on intermediates. That's actually Bradford on slicks. I don't see any groove there at all. As Tapio Rinyaho. What's up here? Angbrink's been catching him steadily. There you go, the problem starts there, and I can't tell if that's engine smoke or if that's spray. It would seem that it's actually engine smoke. Ben Utsa, fastest lap of the race. He's still on wets. I don't get that. I don't get that. Unless they're just like painted on or something and he's actually on slicks. I don't get it. And Rinyaho there. Slowly going to be coasting to a stop. So for him, it will not be third overall this season. To back up his second last season. And I believe he was third as well in season 1. He's of course leading the way in podiums, leading the way in points overall for Formula FG, but alas for him, won't be able to go out on that slight little high. Did have it in his hands though, and really unfortunately for him, he was running in second and his teammate is a bit all over the place this race. So we'll be on to next season for him, that is for sure. He's just blocking out Sigalakis a little bit there, and there we go. He'll pull off, the engine has gone. And he'll roll back down the hill. That promotes Sigalakis onto the podium. Brink into second. McNamara holding a 12-second lead over Tim Engbrink. At the moment, he's got to be careful because Jordan Bradford is hounding him with these slick tyres. The problem for Jordan Bradford at the moment, as there we go, the engine failure brought the end to Tapio Rinyaho's season. The problem with slick tyres at the moment is you can't go offline. You have to go offline to make the overtake, and going offline on the slicks, you've got no grip out there because it's still wet. So Jordan Bradford has found himself in the catch-22. You're the fastest car on track, but you can't actually overtake anyone to show how fast you are. There you go, McNamara actually slowing down a little bit there now. As is Engbrink, and it'll be, I think it'll be Ben Utsa then, as it looks like the conditions just deteriorating away. Be Ben Utsa that ends up getting fastest lap of this race, so it's been a really tough season for him. 10 points, 1 point finish. Only once has he made it to the finish line in the points, which is astounding for someone like Ben Utsa. Very successful driver over the seasons. You don't expect to see that. Especially as well, you see that Stefan Berner's so high up on the table. What's that? I think he's in 7th. Ben Utsa is down in 21st. The yellow flag has been taken away. We are past now, by a couple of laps past halfway. This race doesn't seem any closer to being sorted out now than it did, well, basically on the start line. Cars are everywhere, people have different speeds, people are getting overlapped. It's a bit all over the place at the moment. We do know McNamara is still pulling away at the front, and Jordan Bradford there is actually now struggling to keep up a little bit. It's coming back towards the intermediate tyres, and as it goes back towards the intermediate tyres, it's going to go back towards possibly the wet tyres. More pit stops starting now. Where is this going to go is the question. Martins here in 4th place. Surprising, really, by him. Oh, has Bradford been in again? Yeah, and he's back onto the intermediates. Naturally. Martins, though, slowly just been plugging away, minding his own business. He's going to have a problem soon, though, because Omar Saeed is on a charge at the moment in the Optima. Here's Benutza out. Not in the position that he's supposed to be in, so don't worry about that too much. Joseph Wright, Danny Totos. Both those guys just running a little light on fuel at the moment, so expect some pit stops soon for legitimate reasons. Daniel Harvey's actually found himself in 10th place at the moment for DTK. Engbrink continuing to lose time to McNamara. Doesn't matter what he does at the moment, he's just not finding the conditions. As Jordan Bradford. Could be transmission or suspension. And there you have it, both Falcons actually, both of them out of the race. I was tipping those two to be on the podium and they're both gone. And for both of them, they'll be disappointed. The vehicle failures there, both of them going for 3rd overall in the Drivers' Championship. You know, Rinho will be gutted because he had it either way. There you go. We'll crane that one away. A disappointing end to the race there. Jordan Bradford and for Falcon. 3rd overall in the season for them. The defending Constructors Champions. Can't be too thrilled. One win. Couple fastest laps. They started off very, very slowly at the start of the season. Jordan Bradford was one of the only reasons that they were really getting anywhere, and it's a tough way to end the season like that. Now then, Engbrink pitting at the end of this lap. McNamara should be a lap after. Emma Saeed, in fact, will also be at the end of this lap, so a little bit of shuffling to go around. Tothos, an extra one. Luke Rosella. Are they just putting as much fuel as they can into this car? Like, literally, the guy is set up to go a race, has got enough fuel to continue driving for an extra, like, 30 laps after the end of the race. Okay, maybe not 30. What are we looking at? About 26-ish. Probably closer to 20 when you count in when most of the cars have been pitting. Here you go then, Engbrink. Coming in now. What is the call on the tyres at Keranen Motorsport? Off come wets, on go wets. So that's what they look like. Fuel to the end of the race as well, it seems there, for Tim Engbrink. So he's going to come back out. Saeed, that's the next one behind him. He's coming down pit lane at the moment. So Engbrink should get out there ahead of Ben Utzer. Just see him a little bit further down the track. There we go. So out comes Engbrink. There's his teammate Danny Totos will be coming in at the end of this lap. Joseph Wright haven't been overtaken by the Keranen Motorsport car. Hugo Rossello. Rob Sharp, extra few laps before he pits. Emma Saeed now. Out he comes, racing with Daniel Harvey. Harvey's got a long time before he needs to pit again. We have a look, it'll be wets again there for Saeed. Harvey, there's Lasky. Luke Rosella lap down. Damien Sun well fueled to the finish. So McNamara has come in this lap then as well. He too fueled to the finish. Once again out on intermediates. Not even sure if Manolis Sigalakis is going to catch him. You can see McNamara there coming out of pit lane. Sigalakis hunting him down. Just not quite enough at the moment. See if he maybe makes a move. He's got a couple of laps until he needs to pit, Sigalakis. Might be able to sneak himself into the lead for a little bit. Ree Martin's there. Just chugging away. Here's Engbrink. Benutza next, then Joseph Wright. He'll be pitting at the end of the lap. Hugo Rossello to follow him in. Leski into the 10 now. Damien Sun also move up to 11th along with Matthew Allington. Allington will pit again. Damien Sun won't. Danny Totos coming out there. Just a bit behind, but has got time. Absolutely, at the moment, Damien Sun does seem to be in a fantastic position to be getting some solid points here for Challenger. Be a really good end to the season for him, that is for sure. McNamara has pulled away there from Manolis Sigalakis. Here we go, Joseph Wright in, along with Hugo Rossello. Slightly fast stop there by Rossello, but I'm sure it's going to be quite enough to really be challenging the Raven West at the end of this race. .9 versus a 50.8. Yeah, it's not really much of a difference, is there? And Danny Toto's looking to get past Matthew Allington, slowing down his race a little bit at the moment. Here comes Sothos. Ooh, sneaking past on the inside. I think Allington was pitting, so taking advantage of Matthew Allington having to slow down a little bit and sneaks up the inside as a result. Sothos now chasing down Rosella, who is a lap down, so he's going to have to be letting through a lot of people. Next up for him is Damien Sun. The DTKs are next, yet to pit. Omar Saeed has pitted. Rob Sharp has not. Benutza a lap down at the moment as well. Inbrink still some 13 seconds behind McNamara, so he's not really making up too much ground. Here's Allington popping out ahead of the leader. Will likely be overtaken. Sigalakis in at the end of the lap. Martin's to be following him in as well.
Hit at the end of this lap.
So Lasky's gone through the pits there. Stefan Berner will get past him as well. Stefan Berner will need to pit once more. Intermediates again for Lasky as well, following McNamara's lead. And some of the leaders pitting in now. Sigalakis has gone through, as has Martins. Good stop for Apex there. Sigalakis getting out a little bit quicker. Rob Sharp popping in as well. Here comes Saeed. Harvey. Toto's the next one with Damien Sun. Joseph Wright being held up behind the challenger at the moment as well. Rob Sharp won't get moving anywhere in time. So only Harvey left to pit in the top 10. Could mention that Damien Sun hasn't pitted, but he doesn't need to. Rossello getting out there ahead of Rob Sharp. It'll be a good battle to the end of the race for those guys. Rob Sharp obviously looking to finish off with a little bit extra money in his pocket. Optima as well really needs something to be able to finish off the season. Set themselves up well for next season, that is for sure. That's what they're looking for. So the race continuing here. We're about 3/4 distance. This is where most of the races would be finishing. So we still have another quarter of the race to go. This is when you start to find cars struggling just a little bit more. McNamara still pulling away at the front from Tim Engbrink. And in turn, Engbrink pulling away from Sigalakis. Daniel Harvey to pit in. Entirely that. Joseph right here at the moment. Looking like he's going to be able to pick up 7th place. Damianson won't be able to challenge him there. Hugo Rossello still chasing down the Brit. Rob Sharp as well. And the pace from the challenger is good at the moment. Stefan Berner yet to pit. Long way off the points as well, unfortunately for him. Jack Lasky here. Here comes McNamara. He'll be possibly a bit surprised in that he'll be chasing down Lasky once again in this race. This time for an overlap. Yes, Daniel Harvey has pitted coming out now, and I think his teammate is going to be giving him a run for his money. Indeed, there goes Lasky on the way through. Will Harvey be able to chase him down? That is a good question. Definitely McNamara will not be expecting this. Once again, chasing down both the DTKs, but in completely different circumstances to what he had earlier in the season. Engbrink is going to need it to just absolutely start pouring it down in a moment. Something that forces McNamara to have to change his tyre choice. Yet another pit for Benitez. Indeed it is. This time it's because he's running out of fuel, so that's legitimately a fair enough reason. It's just too fast at the moment, McNamara. So little that can be done. Rob Sharp here has actually gotten past Hugo Rossello. So he's the first one to be chasing down Damien Sun, looking for a move. He's looking for a couple of extra points now. With the constant possibility that the Aston Martin engines in the K&N Motorsport cars may well blow up at any stage, Optima here actually on for a really good result. In fact, they may even jump BRT as well. BRT may be walking away from this. They had an opportunity and they were looking pretty good to actually take 5th off Ravenwest. They may walk away from this in 8th place. What a surprising turn of events there, as it would take 13 points, no 12 points, sorry, from Optima to be able to overhaul BRT. At the moment, I do believe that they do have those points. I think Saeed is in 5th, which is of course worth 10, and Sharp is in 9th, but he's chasing down 8th, so they're looking to be able to take that away from BRT. We do hope for the BRT that Next season gets a little bit better. This season, very much a rebuilding season. Rebuilding portfolio financially, getting the car set up, getting a good driver base. Surprising in the end that it was Stefan Berner that, well, at least for me, that he settles so well. And it's in fact Ben Utzer that ends up having to leave that team. Here we go now. Rob Sharp looking to make the move down the inside here. Pulls up alongside Damien Sun. Is he far up enough? Not too sure. Meanwhile, Rui Martins is chasing down Sigalakis, going to try to take away the last podium. Damien Sun has still got Rob Sharp behind him, but I'm not sure for how much longer. Across the line they go. Rob Sharp is alongside him. There goes the Optima. Down the inside. And that is Optima going to be moving past BRT. They're going to go into 7th place as a result. Now for Damien Sun, he's got to be careful because could be the double whammy. Hugo Rossello might look for the overtake as well. Not quite going to get it, the Frenchman. So he'll sit back a little bit now. Actually, now there we go. Jack Lasky, meanwhile, is also quickly getting onto the back of these guys. He's not all that far behind. 6 seconds. Over 10 laps to go for them. Damien Sun is struggling, which I suspect he is. I think that time could come crashing down, so let's have a little bit of a look then at some of these intermediate times. 104.6, 103.7. Lasky going to come through. Oh, 102.9. He is flying at the moment, Jack Lasky, looking for that final point. Oh, but maybe McNamara might be the biggest downfall to his little plan on getting back into the points. McNamara catches up. That could all go wrong for him. Now, actually, it's important as well that Rob Sharp did make that overtake because Saeed, under pressure from Danny Totos, does have Ben Utzer in between, but should he be overtaken, they'll still have 12 points. Charge of Rui Martins has been somewhat slowed there, so Sigalakis doing well, just pulling away a little bit. Across the line now, Rossello and Sun. Is Rossello far up enough? It doesn't quite look like it, and no, it wasn't. So he'll have to remain behind for a little while longer. Maybe look for a move at the end of this. Yeah, well, I guess you'd almost call it the back straight. The secondary straight. Oh, Damien Sun, though, he's going to look, push Rossello out wide, and Rossello can't find anything. Loses a lot of time there on the inside as well, and Lasky is just closing him down. Very soon he's going to be in the spray of the Apex car. It must have been a mistake there from Rui Martins. I seem to have missed that one. So he's now only just ahead of Omar Saeed. And that's only just ahead of Danny Totos as well. So it'll be a close finish there. Just right a bit further behind Sharp. Well past Damien Sun. Rossello still chasing him down, and Lasky is closing in on him. Daniel Harvey, meanwhile, is closing in on his teammate because he doesn't want to get overlapped. Trying to avoid that at all costs. Rossello doesn't seem to have quite enough here. He's closed down a little bit once again. It's just not quite close enough at the moment. Rossello, surprise, it may end up being that his best chance here is actually Jack Lasky. And the problem there is that that's not going to get him 2 points. That's still only going to get him 1 point. Definitely a tough one for Hugo Rossello. And he's losing time once again. And as McNamara goes through there on Harvey, that is not going to please Jack Lasky in the slightest. Blue flags will now be shown towards him. Rossello closing it down to just 0.4 of a second. So he's been able to gain a little bit more time. Can he actually do anything with that speed? Without being given a bit of a hurry on by his team. Here he goes. Looking for it, but again, blocked out there by Damien Sun. Can't do anything about it. But this time sticks close, so he might have a chance towards the end of the lap. Lasky still closing in on him. Further up, Totos has gone past Utsa. So now he's just a second behind Saeed. Martins, meanwhile, has just gotten away from him a little bit. Now just look at all of them. So close together. Oh, Rossello making a bit of a mistake there. Lifting off, and now he's lost the back of Damien Sun, and he has Lasky right on the back of him. This is Lasky's best chance of making an overtake before McNamara gets to him. Will he be able to do it, however? Up the hill they go. Lasky looks like he's got enough going for him. Heartbreak here for Hugo Rossello. As Lasky pulls up alongside. 5 laps remaining. And he'll get the job done. Into 10th goes Jack Lasky. Hugo Rossello demoted to 11th. Now has McNamara right behind as well. So he'll surely have to back off. These guys, they are racing for sheep stations at the moment. And in fact, how about this? Hugo Rossello not going to give up the position to McNamara. He's looking to take it back from Lasky. Won't find it there, however. Now surely we'll have to yield. McNamara is closer to him than he is to Lasky. See, there we go. He just backs off a little bit. Oh, but he doesn't get it done. Yeah, he's staying on the inside, and McNamara is, you know, just left in no man's land for the most part there. So now you may even have Harvey going up the inside of him there, Rossello. Oh, and he just gets away with it, but not great decision making by the Frenchman. They both lose a lot of time as a result. And I think that will be Rossello. I don't think he's going to be able to find himself any points here today. As Danny Totos has been able to find Omar Saeed. Down to, I believe, is turn 4. Should be 4 anyway. And he gets the job done. Danny Totos into 5th place. And once again, as I mentioned before, the fact that Rob Sharp did make that overtake earlier has allowed Optima to still hold that 12-point pickup, I guess you would say. They should still be able to overtake BRT. As Lasky through already on Damien Sun. 2 points now set up for him today. McNamara, the next one in line. Damien Sun will have to yield to him fairly soon. If Rossello stays close enough, he might be able to have a chance at the point. And there you go, the movement at the moment. Danny Totos up 17 positions, but Saeed and Wright up 12 and 13 respectively. Lasky down 8, Sharp up 9, Engbrink up 9, Martins up 11 as well. Big movement from a couple of drivers here today, that is for sure. Ooh, Sigalakis. Bit of a mistake there. A little bit all over the place. See just how much time he lost there too. Rui Martins, for instance. It was 8.3 before. I'm expecting it to come down significantly. 7.2, there you go. 1.3 seconds, and it's not a very long sector. Saeed, they're going to actually get overtaken there by Ben Uta. Not sure what's up with the Optima there of Saeed, but he's got to keep it together. Just a little while longer. As there we go, McNamara through there on Damien's son. And Rossello is nowhere near close enough to do anything about it. Now the rain coming down. A little bit harder. It's well too late for any sort of real movement. McNamara's made the most of what he had, and he's gotten out to nearly a 20-second lead over Engbrink, so even pitting, you know, they almost have time. But there you go, Engbrink actually is, yeah, closing it down just a little bit. Not made a little bit easier by the fact that McNamara is stuck in traffic. We'll see in a moment. McNamara now. Still chasing down Lasky. In fact, McNamara is still pulling away from Engbrink there. 2 laps to go now. He's still closing down on Jack Lasky here. And it seems like Hugo Rossello, instead of pushing forwards looking for Damien's son, he is instead going to be having to defend from Daniel Harvey. And Harvey just has so much extra speed at the moment. Through he goes into 11th place, and maybe he has a chance on the final lap if he can catch up. It's less than a second to Damien's son. He might be able to do it, and he just seems so much closer. Look at the gap that he's already pulled to Rossello, and look at how quickly he's gotten onto the back of Damien's son. Luke Rossello has pitted once again. Not too sure why, but there you go anyway. So now Daniel Harvey right on the back of Damien's son. Oh, and Son really struggling out of that final proper corner. Now up the hill through the kinks. In fact, it's Harvey that's actually fallen off the back a little bit here. Maybe Rossello's going to have the opportunity. Damien's son is just playing mind games as now James McNamara will start the final lap of the season. Look at these guys going 3 wide almost down the main straight. It's Harvey, Son, Rossello. Harvey going to go through into 10th place. Rossello, what's going to happen to him here? Oh, sorry, Son, what's going to happen to him? Rossello is looking for it on the outside. Rossello might just find it, but he's lost too much time to Harvey, and that should be enough for Daniel Harvey to grab the final point of Season 5. And further up, McNamara is going to go through there on Jack Lasky as well. So Jack Lasky started the season on the top step and will finish the season a lap down. What a turn of events that has definitely been. James McNamara now onto the final lap. Just a couple more corners to go. Has been a dominating season for him. He's broken so many records. The previous record for most wins by a driver was 6. Nathan Corns in Season 3. Great Jack Hunsley in Season 1. Well, this will be McNamara's 8th victory of the season. He'll break 300 points. He'll break that with ease. He would have finished second in the Constructors' Championship in Season 3 with his solo point score. It has been an amazing effort by this man all season as he comes through the final couple of kinks. Down into that little dip and up the hill he comes. James McNamara, the Season 5 champion, wins once again. And he does so ahead of Jack Lasky and Daniel Harvey, both a lap down. They get points. Rossello, Damien's son. Tim Engbrink is going to come across the line, pick up a second podium of the season. It's been a big effort by him, and he will once again leave driving to go back to managing his own team. So we look forward to seeing him next season. Allington and Berner to the line. Stefan Berner by 0.014 of a second gets the position. Chris Guardian now come a lap down as well. Manolis Sigalakis, third place for him today. It's been a tough slog across the entire season, but he found a little bit of form when it mattered. That'll actually net him fourth place overall. He gets past Tapio Rinyaho as a result. So good effort there by him. Luke Rosella. Look, I just don't know what to say about this guy. He's going for 105 laps around here. Ree Martins will come across in fourth. Good effort by him across the season. Ben Utzer, 16th. He's actually overtaken Stefan Berner as well. Danny Totos, one of the rookies of the season. Fifth place for him. Omar Saeed back into the points for Optima. Great race by him. Joseph Wright now will come across the line in seventh. As well, one of the best rookie seasons seen in a while. Great effort by him. And Rob Sharp be the last car to come across the line in Season 5. He'll be in the points once more as well for Optima. Great race for them. So here we go. Confirmation. McNamara winning his 8th race of the season here in Brazil. Tim Engbrink, Manolis Sigalakis on the podium. Ree Martins, Danny Totos, Omar Saeed, Joseph Wright and Rob Sharp all on the lead lap. Lasky and Harvey left it late. They got into the points in the end though. Jack Lasky will be feeling pretty disappointed after that unfortunate mishap in the entrance to pit lane earlier in the race. Cost him any chance of a good result. 9th it'll have to be for him to finish off a breakout season nonetheless for him. Great result. Second in the championship. Hugo Rossello, Damien's son, both unlucky not to get points. They were right there on the cusp. In the end, they couldn't do it. Stefan Berner just getting past Matthew Allington. In fact, can't actually see, but I believe it was 0.014. Indeed. Chris Guardian, Ben Utzer, both a lap down as well. Luke Rosella, 2 laps down. Then retirements, both Falcons, Bradford and Rinyaho. Dovizioso with suspension failure. Carlos Rodriguez went into a wall, and Nathan Corns was the first retirement, of course. Earlier on, fastest lap is not Ben Utzer, it's Stefan Berner, 1:17. So BRT finishing with the 2 fastest single lap cars in the race. Not sure how happy they'll be about that one, but nonetheless, that's what they ended up getting. And, well, this is just going to be confusing. McNamara started low, went backwards a bit, but got himself back into the lead and just went from there. Stefan Berner just nosedived. Ben Utzer is someone I want to watch. Just don't know what's going on there. Luke Rosella as well. Engbrink made his way up. Sigalakis backwards and forwards. Jack Lasky, that pit stop, that collision with Engbrink, like I said before, really cost him. There you go, everybody. The end of Season 5. The final race, 17 rounds through. James McNamara and 2KF1, the 2 champions of the season. Expect to see the full season wrap up in the next couple of days, soon after the results come out. Look forward to writing that one up, give a little bit of a spiel about every single team. And then we'll be into the off-season, looking ahead to Season 6. And we'll see you all, hopefully, in Melbourne for that one. When will that be? Not for a month, or at least maybe about 6 weeks or so. Expect to see some news about it around then. Otherwise, thank you everybody for sticking through this season, and we hope to see you next time.